In this corner, we have the 2001 Mazda Miata with a whopping 142 horsepower. In this corner, we have a 2005 Porsche Boxster with 240 horsepower. Stick around to find out which is the best roadster for under $10,000. Welcome back to RevMatch. If this is your first time here, I do car reviews and how-tos, so hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell. This 2001 Miata cost the owner about $7,000, and you might be thinking that's a lot for 2001, and it is, but this car has flying Miata coilovers, it's got a roll bar, and it's got a hardtop as well. This car was originally about $21,000 new. In addition to the purchase price of about $7,000, this car has about $1,400 worth of work into it, including a new clutch, a new flywheel. So we're gonna call this car $8,400 worth of car. This 2005 Porsche Boxster was purchased for about $7,800. Now the transmission was broken, so immediately the owner put in a brand new transmission with some labor, and so that brings the car up to about $9,000. When this car was brand new, it was $45,000. It goes without saying that these are very different cars. Mazda has always stuck with a really simple formula, which is a lightweight car, good handling, and front engine, rear drive. Very affordable. But what makes it similar to the Porsche? This is the car that saved Porsche. Early in the 90s, around 1993, Porsche was only selling 14,000 cars globally. They were selling 3,000 in the US. Porsche actually looked to Miata, they looked to Mazda for inspiration on a low-price car that was affordable. And of course, this is not the first, but really the most successful mass-produced mid-engine car. Let's check out the motor in this Porsche. Vroom! Enough talk, let's go for a drive. I'm in the 2005 Porsche Boxster. One of my overall impressions of this car is it feels very, very planted. And listen to that sound, that flat six. The brakes are really, really good, pretty typical Porsche brakes. I mean, the predominant character of this car is it's just planted when it's on roads like this. So to sum it up, this is a great bargain sports car. For under $10,000, this is phenomenal. Now we're in the Miata. First impressions, no power at all. No power at all. You've really got to have your foot in this thing. This car is a little bit more nervous than the Porsche. The steering is good. The gearbox is really good in this car. It really does have a lot of grip because it's so light, but you've got to be more on top of this car. Overall, for under $10,000, this is a great car, but it's not the bargain that the Porsche is. I've driven both cars, and the owners have driven each other's cars too, so let's talk to them and get their thoughts. So you've just driven the Miata in a really windy section. What are your overall impressions of the car?
The handling is great. The gearbox is fantastic. A little down on power. There's tons of grip. It's very lightweight, very balanced. If you chuck it in a little too hard, it's gonna get loose. If you hit a bump mid-corner, it's gonna throw you out.
Any negatives?
The engine. I like the brakes in the Boxster better. They'll stop you a little faster than these will.
Overall, compared to your car, which is the Boxster, on a tight, winding section like this, what's your overall impression?
It's still fun. I still prefer the Boxster. I mean, it's got more power.
It's definitely a more solid car. You can feel the weight difference. There's just more weight in the steering. There's more, it feels more serious. This, you can really get it to rotate quickly. If you chuck it and lift, it'll really kind of start to rotate really quickly.
Overall, compared to the Miata, on a road like this, what do you prefer?
I don't know that I prefer one over the other. I know that when I got in the Boxster, like I felt more relaxed. I felt more like I'm in a car driving along. Whereas I know in the Miata on roads like this, I'm always on edge, like a little more clenched everywhere I go driving the Miata. So it's, it's a different experience, and this definitely is faster. Not saying otherwise. It's on stickier tires and it's got a lot more engines.
I don't want to look short. I'm gonna stand in the ditch if I'm there.
There we go.
Let's talk about operating costs. Obviously, this is the big white elephant in the room. Obviously, the Porsche is a much more expensive car to begin with, but let's talk about operating costs day to day. What do you get in terms of gas mileage?
28's a bad day, usually 30, but I do a lot of freeway driving, so.
I do more mixed driving. I do a lot of canyons in the car. I average about 23.
Let's talk about maintenance. So this is regular maintenance. What do you spend on
an oil change is about $100 if I do it myself. It's not too bad.
26.
26.
My last set of tires was about $890, I think.
So a set for the Miata, I'm like looking right now, is about 300.
What about unexpected stuff? Have you had any of that yet?
Yes, this is a $100 piece of string that Porsche sells that keeps tension on your soft top.
That's a really nice piece of string, I gotta admit. What are some of the things that you don't like about your own cars?
I don't like how difficult it is to work on my car. I have no access to my own motor.
Oh, I hate the seats. God, I hate the seats in the Miata. Jesus, they're awful.
Driving each other's cars for under 10,000 bucks on a road like this, what do you guys think?
So this is the big under 10,000 thing that I'm gonna bring up here. That Porsche is definitely not a $10,000 car. It was extremely well purchased with a broken transmission. In decent
Realistically, to get that car, it's gonna be 12 to 15 depending on condition.
So which car is the winner? For me, it's gotta be the Porsche. The Miata is a really nice car, but it just doesn't have the power. Yeah, it's light and handles really well, but it's kind of nervous and skitterish on the bumps on these tight bends here. The Porsche just feels planted. It feels solid. It's got a fantastic sounding motor. Yes, the shifter isn't as good, but overall, it's just a more enjoyable car to drive. It's a little bit more relaxed. It's really, really designed for roads like this. So for this particular review, I'm giving the Porsche a thumbs up.
If you want to stand there, I'll stand there. Or you can stand there and I'm going to stand up here.
Scene 13, take 1.
I don't care.